The Big 12 conference has been an interesting conference. You know, they've went from a few years ago to possibly dissolving completely to a conference that's really, other than that first year or so, put a team in the playoffs. Mainly Oklahoma on a pretty regular basis. It'll be curious to see what they do this year. I think this conference, the Big 12, comes down to a two-team race, and it's the Red River rivalry, Oklahoma and Texas. I think those are the two elite teams in this division. Sure, you know, Oklahoma State will always be good. They've shown in history to be able to kind of come up and come out of nowhere, from being that, second tier to, making a run at the conference championship. Iowa State under Matt Campbell is he's developing that program. They're pesky. They always get those good wins. I think, they lost some of their big playmakers on offense, so I think they'll still be there, but I think that prevents them from taking that next step. So it just kind of leaves Oklahoma and Texas as the two top teams. Oklahoma's my pick to win it, just because things are just going so well for them. Yeah, they've had Baker Mayfield, and then he leaves. Kyler Murray steps in. No drop off. This year, Jalen Hurts. I said that right. Jalen Hurts comes in, transfer from Alabama, led Alabama to a national championship, took them back to a second straight national championship game before Tua replaced him. He's at Oklahoma now. I think he's going to fit in very well with Lincoln Riley. They're not going to run the same style of offense that Kyler Murray did or Baker Mayfield did. I think you're going to see a more run-based spread attack. But Lincoln Riley's shown he's adaptable, and he can change his offense to suit the strengths of whoever his quarterback is. So Jalen Hurts is a strong runner. He can still throw the ball. He's not the most accurate type thrower, but he can still throw the ball. CeeDee Lamb is back at receiver, a true junior. Him and Marquise Brown the last couple of years have been the big play threats for Oklahoma. So CeeDee Lamb's coming back. Big, physical, good speed down. He's a guy that I could see going in the top 15 of the NFL draft. He's got good catching radius, good body control. The big key for Oklahoma will be their defense. That was their Achilles heel last year, but they were able to overcome it because their offense was so good that they could just outscore everybody. But when it came to the college football playoff and they ran into Alabama, they couldn't slow down Alabama's offense enough to be able to kind of be in that shootout. They went out and got Alex Grinch as defensive coordinator. Grinch last year was at Ohio State. The year before that, he was at Washington State, and he was able to work wonders with Washington State's defense. Not a whole lot of high recruited players, and he's able to kind of to mold that team to be a pesky defense that slowed offenses down enough for Washington State to outscore them. Can he do the same thing in the Big 12? They've got some talent. Oklahoma's always recruited well. They've got high rated players from their recruiting services, but can he mold those guys? Can he get that defense to stop giving up points at an alarming rate? Texas is the team that will challenge them. Texas is the in vogue team. It seems like this happens every year. Texas is back after they win a game. Let's not forget they lost to Maryland, and then they beat someone, so then they were back. But regardless, they finished the season strong last year, beating Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Big part of that was Sam Ehlinger, their quarterback, finally emerged, or they finally had a quarterback emerge in Sam Ehlinger. He's kind of a Tim Tebow style quarterback, tough physical runner, can make enough passes. He's got Colin Johnson out at receiver. They've got a lot of they've got those guys, but they don't have a whole lot besides that. Defensively, they have to replace guys. So the momentum is on the upswing for Texas, but they still have to replace a lot of talent. That defense did lose, a lot of good players, guys that got drafted in the NFL draft last year. Once again, another team that's been recruiting well. Can Tom Herman continue to develop those players? Can they take that next step? I know they're the sexy team right now in the Big 12. I just don't see them beating Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma is at a tier right above them. Texas is getting better, but they're not back.